The sun's coming up, the drinks are hot, and now it's time for our first cup. Today, take the hit. I want to start off today with a question. I want you to think about, what does it feel like to get hit? Take a good solid hook to the rib cage, maybe to get kicked in the face or thrown to the ground hard. Just get an idea in your mind. You got it? Good. So, I'm of the opinion that every human, no matter who they are, no matter where they're at, no matter what stage in life they're at, they should take at least 6 months of a combat sport or martial art. And this is informed by my having done a lot of that throughout my life. Definitely a lot when I was a kid, a little bit less when I'm an adult, but still throughout my life. And doing so has taught me a lot of lessons, but there's one that is consistent no matter how old I am or what discipline I'm training. And that is that when I taste my own blood, it unlocks a spirit in me that nothing else does. It can be from a, broken skin on the back of my hand, maybe a split lip or a slow trickle from a slightly bloody nose. Doesn't matter. Like, when I taste that iron-rich warmth, that distilled life essence, something just snaps in me, and in a good way. Now, I'm going to bet that when I asked you to think about what taking a hit feels like, you weren't thinking about anything like that, right? If you're like most people, you were probably thinking about the pain or maybe the harm reduction. Like, how do I feel better afterwards, right? But that's a very narrow view of getting hit. And the gap between that narrow view and the reality of what's going on is quite wide. And we need to look at that distance. Because in that distance, there's a lot of truth. There's a lot of power. There's a lot of knowledge. A lot happens when you get hit, but I can tell you from just a very basic biological standpoint, your sympathetic nervous system activates, right? Your body and your brain become awash in chemicals and hormones that sharpen your senses. It can make you hyper-present in the moment. It can even dull your pain. And in that state, so many other things are possible. But it's a state that we don't get to often in the world as it is. And when we do get to that state in the world as it is, we haven't really practiced what it's like to have those things happen. And so the opportunity that that moment creates is often just falls through our fingers. This is a reason that I think everyone should take at least 6 months of a combat sport or martial art. Again, however long it takes you to get some real contact, not just sparring, not just, practice, but like real contact. Because when you have the experience of doing something that you think is going to be painful, and that all you can conceive of is the pain, when you have the experience of doing that and realizing that there's so much more, you realize that there's a lot more that you're capable of. And again, this goes for every human, no matter who you are, no matter what point you're at in life. And for God's sakes, Anthony Bourdain started training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in his 50s. Right? The other nice thing about martial arts, combat sports, is that there's a superordinate structure to the pain as well, and this is helpful in teaching us something too. And what that teaches, right, is that even while you're learning about all this strength that you've got, there's a superordinate structure. There's a match usually, right? There's a match or a tournament or something. There's a competition where your goal is to win. And even if you're not the kind of person who walks in and says, I'm going to win every match that I can, even if you're not a person that's capable of winning a match, you can still show progress in yourself. You can still know what you've done before, what you're doing now, and what you can do better. It's a beautiful structure. Beautiful lessons. Lessons that we all need right now, for sure. I guess, in the end, what I'm saying is that we all could stand to better learn how to take the hit, because it's not the end, it's the beginning. But please remember, no matter what you've heard or what I've said, death comes for us all, and a closed mouth never gets fed. Take care of yourselves. Strike true. We'll speak again soon.